Hello and welcome to Pi Circle. Today we will be discussing about the chapter 2 of Fundamentals of Physical Geography class 11th NCERT, part 2. As we have already discussed the part 1, in this video we'll be taking into consideration evolution of the earth, evolution of lithosphere, evolution of atmosphere and hydrosphere, and finally the origin of life. So let us begin with the evolution of earth. Evolution of earth. Initially the earth was barren, there was no cultivation, nothing, rocky, and the atmosphere there was very thin. Primarily it comprises of hydrogen and helium. So this is the picture of the earth somewhere around when the earth came into form. Now this form is totally different what we see today. So there has been an evolution. So the earth has went to the transformation from what it was at the primordial times and now what it is today. This is what we are going to discuss, how this change came into being. So this evolution that take place from 4,600 million years ago, around 4.6 billion years ago, to the present form, and which is still continuing to change. This is what we discuss the evolution. This is what we discuss in evolution of earth, and this is what we will study here. So the earth has, right now if we see the earth, it has a layered structure. From the top of the atmosphere to the center of the earth, which we call as core, everything is well stratified. And this was not the case in the beginning. How this came into being? Let's first discuss about the lithosphere, the evolution of the lithosphere, wherein we'll understand the stratification of its layers. So the evolution of lithosphere. See, during the primordial time, during the primordial stage, the earth was very volatile. When I say volatile, I mean that there was no steady stateness in the earth. Continuously it was changing. As the matter which was forming the planets, in this case an earth, it was coming together. So the density was continuously rising. As the density rises, the more and more temperature was building up. So what this resulted in finally, as the temperature keeps on raising, the density also as the density keeps on increasing, the temperature also raises. As the temperature raises, there was the stratification of the material on the basis of the density. Now, the stratifying of a material on the basis of a temperature, on the basis of a density, as the temperature increases, what it led? It leads that the more dense the material was, it directly sunk into the core. It sunk down in the earth, and the material which was lighter, it rose up. So this was the sort of stratification, although it was not the perfect stratification which happened, but it somehow stratified the earth's layers. Then what happened? The earth material got, as the time passed, the earth material got condensed, the temperature got decreased, and there was a shrinkage of material in the earth. So finally, and now at this stage, the earth is stratified, but not as what we have today. Then what happened? During the formation of the moon, a giant impact happened that we have read in the last video, how the moon formation took place. During that stage, because of the giant impact, the temperature again rose up. As the temperature rose up, so there was a further stratification in the material of the earth. And this stratified our earth to what we see present, with crust at the top, mantle, and finally the core. So now we understand that there were two events that took place for the evolution of the lithosphere. One was as the density builds up and the temperature increased, stratification keep on happening on the basis of density, and finally during the formation of moon, temperature further rose up, and it finally led to the further stratification. Now we'll see the evolution of atmosphere and hydrosphere. So in this we have three stages: loss of primordial atmosphere, degassing, rains, and photosynthesis. Now we'll discuss the first stage. तो पहले स्टेज में क्या हुआ? As we have already studied कि primordial time में जो हमारा जो अर्थ था, एटमॉस्फेयर, जो भी इनर प्लैनेट्स बाय द वे, इनका जो एटमॉस्फेयर था, इट वाज थिनली बेडेड, और क्या था? पर्टिकुलरली हाइड्रोजन और हीलियम ही था, और कुछ डस्ट पार्टिकल्स थे विच कंप्राइज्ड ऑफ द एटमॉस्फेयर एट दैट टाइम. बट क्या हुआ? बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स प्रॉक्सिमिटी क्लोज टू द सन, क्योंकि ये सारे अर्थ एंड अदर प्लैनेट्स which we call as terrestrial or inner planets, their proximity is closer to the sun compared to the outer planets. तो वहाँ पे सोलर विंड्स का जो इम्पैक्ट था वो बहुत हाई था, और जिसकी वजह से ये जो इनर एटमॉस्फेयर था, हाई कंप्राइजिंग ऑफ हाइड्रोजन एंड हीलियम मोस्टली, तो इसको ये इट वाज ट्रैप्ड ऑफ नॉट ओनली इन अर्थ बट ऑल्सो इन अदर planets also. So this was the first stage that took place where there was a loss of primordial atmosphere. Now in second stage what happened कि as the time elapsed, जैसे जैसे time pass होने लगा temperature जो है वो कम कम होने लगा, ठीक है. As the temperature goes down, the gases from the earth's surface keep pumping out. तो कौन कौन से gases आए, जैसे for example nitrogen, water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane and etc. These gases also came out because of the volcanic eruptions, जो because of the cooling of the earth, volcanic eruptions भी होने लगे, जिसकी वजह से भी gases, water vapor, particularly nitrogen and water vapor बाहर आने लगा into the atmosphere, and this was the case of an early atmosphere. तो ये early atmosphere के gases थे comprising of nitrogen, water vapors, methane and all those gases. तो ये थे वहाँ पे. तो फिर क्या हुआ further, तो ये तो second stage था जहाँ पे degassing हुई. तो अभी हमें समझ आया पहली स्टेज में प्रिमोर्डियल एटमॉस्फेयर जो था वो सोलर विंड्स ने स्टाइप ऑफ किया. दूसरे स्टेज में अर्थ के मटेरियल्स ने बिकॉज ऑफ द कूलिंग गैसेस हमारे अर्थ के सरफेस से बाहर आने लगे, वाटर वेपर्स बाहर आने लगे, तो और कुछ अमाउंट ऑफ ऑक्सीजन भी था जो वो भी बाहर आने लगा और बहुत कम अमाउंट था वो. फाइनली थर्ड स्टेज में क्या हुआ, एज द वाटर वेपर केम आउट, टेम्परेचर बाहर और कम होने लगा. एज द टाइम पास और टेम्परेचर कम होने लगा. व्हाट हैपेंड इज द रेन स्टार्टेड ऑन द सरफेस ऑफ द अर्थ. तो रेन्स स्टार्ट होने लगे. नाउ रेन्स की वजह से क्या हुआ, द एटमॉस्फेयर में जितना भी कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड था which were by the way in the second stage which was released by the earth, it got absorbed. जो ही ये absorb होने लगा carbon dioxide, what happened was the temperature further got decreased. Now with the further temperature got decreased, the condensation was more and the rains, we have heavy rains, and these rains finally filled the depressions of the earth, which finally shaped the present oceans. Now just we know that formation of oceans took place around 4 billion years ago. The life first also existed in the oceans itself. As the life began in the oceans, the photosynthesis process also began in the oceans. तो उसकी वजह से ये हुआ कि ऑक्सीजन जो था वो सारा का सारा कंसनट्रेट ओशंस में रहा, एटमॉस्फेयर में उस वक्त नहीं था. तो ओशंस में ऑक्सीजन का होना, उसकी वजह से क्या हुआ, जैसे जैसे लाइफ बढ़ती रही और ऑक्सीजन की कंसनट्रेशन ओशंस में बढ़ती रही, देयर वाज अ फ्लडिंग ऑफ ऑक्सीजन इन द ओशंस, एंड इट फाइनली दिस ऑक्सीजन केम आउट इनटू द एटमॉस्फेयर, और इसने फिर पूरे एटमॉस्फेयर में ऑक्सीजन की कंसनट्रेशन को बढ़ाना स्टार्ट किया. So this way our present day atmosphere shaped with the following with the present gases, nitrogen right now which has the highest concentration, and finally followed by oxygen and other small gases like carbon dioxide and other gases. तो ये था प्रोसेस जिस तरह से हमारे पास ये गैसेस और ये प्रेजेंट एटमॉस्फेयर इवॉल्व हुआ. नाउ विल टॉक अबाउट द ओरिजिन ऑफ लाइफ. बहुत सारे साइंटिस्ट्स जो है मॉडर्न साइंटिस्ट्स वो रेफ़र करते हैं ओरिजिनल लाइफ को बेसिकली एक हिसाब से एक काइंड ऑफ ए केमिकल रिएक्शन विच बेसिकली जनरेटेड, जिसने जनरेट किया एक कम्प्लेक्स ऑर्गेनिक मॉलिक्यूल को. तो उस मॉलिक्यूल में ये कैपेबिलिटी थी कि वो अपने आप को डुप्लीकेट कर सके, और से और ज़्यादा बना, 2-4 बना सके, एक्सपोनेंशियली राइज हो सके, जिसकी वजह से ये हुआ कि जो ये लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म जो एक फॉर्म ऑफ केमिकल रिएक्शन से एक लिविंग ऑर्गेनिक मॉलिक्यूल बन गया, इट डुप्लीकेटेड, एंड फ्रॉम वन यूनिसेल्यूलर ऑर्गेनिज्म, यूनिसेल्यूलर से ये मल्टीसेल्यूलर ऑर्गेनिज्म की तरफ बढ़ने लगा. सो जैसा कि हमने देखा कि हमारे जो भी प्रूफ है that how this life came into being, it's basically from the fossils that we have obtained from in the rocks. और उस हिसाब से हमें ये पता चला है कि it was the blue algae somewhere around 3,800 million years ago जिसने इस लाइफ को जो फर्स्ट एग्जिस्ट किया है on the surface of. So this was it for today. This completed our entire chapter. Now we'll be looking for the third chapter. Thanks for watching.